SatoPlay is a new mobile gaming platform that uses the Bitcoin SV blockchain. Launched 5 months ago from Beijing, it currently offers 5 games on Google Play and will be on Apple's App Store soon. As a platform, it invites third-party developers to build on it, with players being able to transfer assets between games. Its creator, Gulu, is an experienced game developer. He describes SatoPlay as a Bitcoin SV-powered Steam. I talked to Gulu about SatoPlay, BSV, and how what we can see on the platform today is only the start of his plans.
You're listening to CoinGeek Conversations with Charles Miller.
Gulu, welcome to CoinGeek Conversations.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you very much for doing this, all the way from China to me in London. And we're here to talk about SatoPlay, which is your mobile game platform. So just tell me about the name. There's a clue in the name.
Yeah, it's a combination of Satoshi and blockchain game. For short, is SatoPlay.
Because it's very BSV oriented.
Yeah, I'd love to support BSV, the most potential platform for future game platform.
Great. So I have been enjoying trying out SatoPlay, and I am not very good at the underwater game. That's the one I've been concentrating on, but I have already earned a few points, and if I continue to do well, I will actually earn some Bitcoin SV. Is that right?
Sure, sounds good. Yeah, you can earn.
Well, I'm a bit worried about this because I haven't had to pay to subscribe or anything. So if I do spend a lot of time earning Bitcoin SV, are you going to have to be paying me?
No. The model from the first day is the player can play to earn. It's a method, but which money do they earn? It's from the ordinary subscription or diamonds from other players. So you see, other game companies earn money from players, but we don't do it this way. We use the players charging and their subscriptions to compensate the players who played well or find bugs or engage in the community to support the whole platform to grow.
Right, so I'm just playing the free version, but what would I be able to do if I was subscribing?
You can have many enhancements experience. Think like you can do it for the iCloud. You can have a much bigger storage,
right.
Things like that.
So the money that comes in there will subsidize any money that the non-subscribers will earn in Bitcoin SV.
Yeah.
Right. I think, though, that I would have to be playing for a long, long time on the free version before I was going to make any money, right?
Sure. That's up to you.
Well, let's just talk about your own background, because you are very experienced as a game developer with conventional gaming companies like Ubisoft and CCP Games.
You know it.
Yeah. But just tell me a little bit about your background in gaming.
Sure. I have been working in game industry for 13 years since 2005. And I worked in Ubisoft, which is the largest game publisher in France, and CCP Games, which is a game company from Iceland, as game developer. I participated in a few AAA game titles in these years. And have some experience on building different MMO titles, both as team leader or as a startup co-founder.
Right, so you were right in the heart of a very successful games industry.
Uh, uh, Quite frankly, that's not quite successful. I'm not an expert, but a veteran in game industry, I think.
But did there come, so are you taking a risk with your career by going out and starting up your own startup gaming platform?
I'd love to consider it an opportunity, not a risk,
Right.
because at an age of me currently, I'd love to find any chance that I can contribute more to the game industry, not only coding, leading, or ask someone to do a ordinary job. That's not my type. So in 2018, I put myself into the blockchain world and trying to capture the opportunity of the blockchain game, which, in my opinion, could become an interesting subdivision industry in 2 or 3 years. And then I found BSV, so I'm here. That's it.
When you first got interested in Bitcoin, before Bitcoin SV existed, was your interest in it always from the game's point of view, or did those two sides of it, the money and the gaming, come together as you learned more about it?
Before I learned the blockchain way of money, I know I know very little about the economy, the financial things. I'm simply a game developer, but I found it very interesting about the money related things, and then I dig into the blockchain technology, and I found that it might become the underlying technology of future, maybe decades. So I put myself. I think the most important investment is your time. So I put my time into this and trying to find something. Yeah.
Right. And so, what was it about blockchain that made you think this is going to be great for gaming?
When I went into the industry, I know there are already 100, maybe more betting and gambling platform using blockchain technology. From the original Satoshi dice, Just Dice, and the many dices on EOS, Tron, etc. Many other blockchain. We don't want to do that. We want something more, being more widely adopted, more casually, more children friendly. That's why we don't do betting, gambling. SatoPlay should be game centric, not money centric.
Right. But the same advantages of blockchain would apply to both the gambling side and children's games, I guess.
Sure.
Because as far as, I mean, I can see as a user that Bitcoin SV is involved because I'm invited to add some Bitcoin SV out of Alipay or MoneyButton or something. But what does Bitcoin SV need to be involved and the blockchain in the way the actual games work?
Yeah, you ask a very deep question because there are many ways to combine the blockchain and the game. You can only replace the in-game financial system, or you can adopt the proof of work into the game to make a proof of play or something like that to make it more underlying. There are many ways, and of course, tokens and other on-chain computing can be adopted. There are many ways.
But in your case, with the simple games, well, they're simple in the sense that they're simple to play. Are they uploading the moves and the results to the blockchain or not?
Sure. We have our game records. The player The player data, their scores, their rewards, of course encrypted, their trophies are written onto the blockchain, the BSV blockchain, to build real reputation for players. If you play many years and play many games, then you have a real reputation built on chain.
If I wanted to check my profile and my games record on the blockchain, would I be able to do that directly outside of your app?
Sure, you can check it on whatsonchain.com.
And how will I know how to find what I'm looking for? Where will I find the addresses and things?
On SatoPlay, you can see the individual TX, the transaction, in the game records page. But when we launched SatoPlay, there isn't a real MetaNet implementation, so we do it round by round, single game sessions. But now with MetaNet implementations, we can get this data structured, get this data, so you can view a lot of related user information, but that would be available in the future months, I think.
Yeah, I can see that you have big plans for the future, and that what we're looking at now is really quite an early version of the work, I think.
It's quite early.
How have you managed to make SatoPlay till now? Is it just you, or do you have a team of people, or what?
With the very first version in last year's December 2019, I am alone work on it. But I thought I participated in the BSV conference in Beijing that month, and I met some friends, and we created a team to do it.
So it's you and your partner now, is it?
Yeah, we have 4 people now.
Oh, right.
But not all of us are full-time job doing this.
Right. But is it your full-time job?
Yeah, it's my. But I also do some experiments with other prototypes on BSV, because there are many ideas,
Right. Because looking at your website, you have a vision for the way that you want to develop SatoPlay, and you have a vision in the end of what you call an open world.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I'm not really very knowledgeable about the world of gaming. Can you explain what that means, really?
Sure. When I was working CCP in 2012, I spent years building the Eve universe, which is a very large and unified universe, in-game universe, and which has a very huge in-game economy. But at that time, I don't understand the economy very well. I just understand it from the technology aspect. And then I learned a lot of things from that project, how to create a very huge universe with very, very different planets and stars and such things, how to make the diversity of the universe. That's very important for an open world.
Does open world mean that it's infinite and that it generates itself, or?
That's one aspect. It's infinite. You can explore for a very, very large area. That's one aspect. Another aspect is you can enjoy the game in very different methods, and in every time you can achieve the quests in many different ways, in very open style. You can deliver the goal in many, many different ways. That's another aspect of the open.
Right, but this doesn't sound to me like a casual, lightweight game that I could just start playing on my phone. Doesn't it require a massive download all sorts of data to make that work?
Nowadays, we have streaming so that you may enjoy an open world on your cell phone. But yeah, we start from very small mini games, so we can accumulate ourselves and grow the team to prepare for a bigger world.
And I think you're also inviting third-party developers that you would host their games on your platform. Is that right?
Yeah, because we are very small and weak, and we need more developers to pay attention to the BSV, and we are calling them to join us. Yeah.
So they would bring their games to SatoPlay, and you would host them, and then they would be part of the same economy.
Yeah, we can build the platform into a multiple game center, and then we can try to provide value inheriting, value migrating, and value exchanging across these games. If one game gains popularity, while the dev team working on the second generation, they can selectively enable the player to inherit the equipment resources of the first generation of the game. If the player doesn't want to play a game anymore, they can transfer the in-game resources into another game or sell them directly, like selling cards in Steam market. So the platform can grow, and I don't need to worry, player doesn't like the game. They can have many choices.
Right, so that's the advantage of a platform rather than just individual games.
Yeah. Because frankly speaking, we don't have many users comparing to a mature industry. For example, like the ordinary mobile game industry. If we make a single game, it could last for a few days or weeks, and it could be forgotten fast. But with the platform established, we can integrate more games in a continuous time frame and try to improve the user experience continuously to iterate smoothly and get things better and better.
I think you're being quite modest, because I looked at a list of the most transactions on Bitcoin SV just this morning, and SatoPlay was there at number 8, and so you're having an impact, I think.
That's the very beginning, because we want to make it higher.
Well, that's pretty good. And
yeah, we do have the plans for the TX growing, because currently the transactions are only player charging or game records, game data on chain. But there will be a very large transaction volume coming after our next title, which enables the NFT, the non-fungible tokens in game, so player can have many weapons, equipments. Any one of them would become a transaction to create the items, and player can freely transfer them like ordinary BSV transactions. So there would be a huge transaction volume if we can hold it.
Right. And I mean, will you eventually make the games playable on a laptop or a desktop computer as well?
Currently, the platform can be run on PC, on laptop, and we cooperate with the Maxon, the project. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because Maxon can run on PC, and we will be running in their browser, so it should be okay to make the compatibility.
Great. And just talking more widely, what is the situation with Bitcoin SV in China? How much interest is there, do you think?
Frankly, I'm quite surprised that there are so many supporters around me. I didn't expect it, because in 2018, when I was firstly into blockchain industry, I tried the EOS blockchain. I tried the EOS, the
yes.
EOS blockchain.
EOS, yeah.
Because the transaction on EOS is free, that attracted me to develop some maybe some combination of the game and EOS. But it seems in China there are many traders, there are many people caring about the price, not the technology itself. I feel very unsupported. But in BSV, in BSV, the society, I found a lot of people. They are talking a lot of technology improvement and a lot of potential projects. As I saw, and I'm quite surprised that there are so many projects in China.
Good. And have you had a chance to talk to your children? You've mentioned that these games are suitable for children. Have you got feedback from children who are using the games?
The first user of my platform is my son.
How old is your son?
He's 9.
And so,
yeah.
What kind of feedback did he give?
He gave me some feedback that the game is enjoyable, but the platform he doesn't know how to use BSV. But I think at his age, when he grows up, maybe the on-chain transactions would be very universal and in many places, I think.
Well, it must be good for a boy of that age to have his dad making something like a video game. I'm sure that is very cool for him with his friends.
Yeah, he wants to create a game for it.
Oh, right, good. You should have him join the team.
Yeah.
Great. Well, Gulu, thank you so much for talking to me. It's been really, really interesting. And I wish you a lot of luck with SatoPlay, and maybe we could talk again when you have some new games released or get to the next stage.
Yeah, in the coming weeks, we will launch our iOS version, our next title, and our game asset protocol, a new protocol without any connection with the tokenized. We tried tokenized, and we customized the game friendly version. So we have a new game asset protocol. So we have a launch of things in coming weeks.
Great. Well, before we finish, let me just ask you about Bitcoin SV. What have been the advantages for you of building on BSV?
Many. But some of the potential hasn't been revealed. For example, like the MetaNet, we are very looking forward to utilize it. But currently, it's still in a very early stage because it's very expressive for game. For game, we can do a lot of things, especially for content creators. Some players they creating maps and they can use the MetaNet.
What about the transaction fees? What have you noticed about them?
The transaction fees can be lower in the future, I think, because I talked to the mempool. Do you know the mempool?
Yes.
They are the largest pool in China, and they talked to us that we can use the merchant API to build merchant reputation, and after a while, maybe we can have 0 fees. Before this, we used a library called BitSV. The library itself is conservative, and it used 1,000 satoshis. And then we switched to a small money API from the pool, and it cut the fee into half. And then after I writer's merchant API, the protocol, we switched to the merchant API, and it then cut it into another half and half. So we get 5% of the original transaction.
Right, so it's cheaper and cheaper for you to run the app.
Yeah, I think in the future it could be much lower, and the BSV blockchain would be superior comparing to other chains.
Great. Well, look, Gulu, thank you very much for talking to me, and very good luck with the development of SatoPlay. And we look forward to seeing your new developments that are coming up very soon, I think. But thank you very much for now. Bye for now.
You're welcome.
Bye.
Okay.
Thanks
See
a
you.
lot. Thanks very much to Gulu. In next week's CoinGeek Conversation, we'll be continuing the gaming theme when my colleague Natalie Mason finds out about another gaming platform, Chronoverse. So please join Natalie next week. Till then, from me, Charles Miller, thanks for listening and goodbye.